My name is Pitseng. I'm the resident engineer for AECOM on the project C4026. AECOM was awarded the project. It's rehabilitation of the Northern Access Road from Pitseng to Katse village. It's 96.3 kilometers that has to be resurfaced, as well as certain areas that needs to be remolded and reworked. This road is 30 years old, and it held quite well, although there is some deficiencies that happened over the last couple of years. Other work, ancillary work that we also undertake is major culverts that we need to rehabilitate. We've got 3 major bridges that also has some rehabilitation work. It's the Katse Bridge, the Polihali Bridge, and the Maribomatsu Bridge. That's minor work that needs to be done on them, but it's also some of the rehab. Most of the side drains on this road is also it's filled with mud and silt, and that also needs to be cleared so that all the drainage systems function. Other work that we'll have to do is some guardrails that need to be replaced, as well as I said, major culverts that had damage. There's a couple of retaining walls that's been vandalized, and some of them over the years has also deteriorated, and we're also doing rehabilitation work in that regard.
My name is Maphole Loke. I was born in Maphole in a place called Dogwele. There's a small village there called Hasibusi. It's a very rural. So I then later moved to TY. I think I was 5 or 6, I can't remember exactly. But then I moved to TY I've been staying with my granny ever since. So I'm the first of the 4 kids. I completed my high school in St. Agnes High School, and then went to Lesotho Polytechnic, whereby I did my diploma in civil engineering. I then moved to Cape Town, where I did my bachelor's technology in civil engineering, transportation at the Cape Peninsula University of Technology. And in 2016, I completed the BTech, and then I went back to school in 2018, where I did my master's in civil engineering, majoring in structures, restoration of heritage buildings, until 2019. And then in 2020, I enrolled for a PhD in civil engineering, still working on structures, restoration of heritage buildings. As I mentioned, I grew up I was born and bred in Maphole, in this rural area called Hasibusi. So when I was a kid, we had to struggle getting water, we had to use firewood and everything. So it comes into my mind that I knew I was like, when I grow up, I want to fix this village. It was there in my mind, but I wasn't sure, I didn't know at that age what engineering was. But I knew I had to study something that will help me work towards making my community better. So my career path came around that age. I was too young, but I already knew I have to go fetch water. Rio is so far there, I have to go to the well. I know other people have taps, they have this, they have that. Can't we have those here as well? So from that age, I knew that whatever I had to do with helping my community in a way, even if it's not my community, but working with the communities one way or the other. I knew from that age. So that's why when I grew up, there were options. You could do this, you could do that. But I was like, oh, now there are career guidances. You're like, oh, when I was young, I remember there was mentioning of this and this. So civil engineering is the one for me. That's how I got into civil engineering. I remember the first time it was when I was working for another consultancy, and then I was a procurement officer, so I'll look for tenders and then go for tender briefings and all that. So this other time I saw the advert on the newspaper that LHDA was looking for young professionals. The nice thing was there was no experience required, and so I was like, okay, this is what I should go for, and then I applied from there. First started in March 2020. The interview was in 2019 while I was busy finishing up my master's research, and then I was called for this, and then later on I was told I was successful, and then in March I had to resume my duties, 2020. Since March 2020, immediately after being placed, I remember, I think it was the 26th, COVID came, and then we had to go back home. But then after everything was back to half normal or semi-normal, then I was now sure that I'll be working with the Northern Access Road, which is the road from Pitseng to Katse village, which is a rehabilitation road. As time went on, we were also placed at some parts of the Polihali Western Access Road West, whereby we are working with construction of the major culverts. So basically, I'm working on the Northern Access Road, the rehabilitation, and on the Piwa West, which is the Greenfields project. Yes, it has been a great advancement in a way that, like I said, when I saw the advert on the newspaper, there was no experience required. If it wasn't 2 years, I think, but it wasn't something I didn't have and something out of this world. It was attainable. So coming here, you being guided by people who have years of experience. Since I've studied transportation, I had some bit of background, yes, in transportation, but when you get here, you see that books alone are not what you need. You need people with experience to guide you through. You need experience yourself to know, okay, this was the theoretical part of things, and now this is the practical part of things. So yes, it has been a great thing for me to be involved with the professionals who have been in this industry for like years, ages, even maybe before I was born, it's fine. But yeah, it's been very helpful to be under such people's leadership and their guidance. The first one will be leadership. I learned a lot when it comes to leadership and professionalism, how to control your emotions. This is making me angry, but I have to control my emotions. I have to be professional. I have to put my foot down. I learned such things. So those are my highlights that I take away from this program, that yeah, you grow. So I really grew since coming here. I remember when we were interviewed in November 2019, one of the questions was, do you see yourself as a leader or as a follower? I remember at that time I was just a follower. So coming here has given me that feel of I can lead. I have it in me. I have the confidence. It has really, really made me grow as a leader more than anything else. So that's like the major thing that I have gained. Gaining it, it didn't just come as gaining it. I saw from the leaders that we have that this is the kind of leader I want to be one day. This is the leadership I prefer, or this is the leadership that can take us places. This is the leadership that can take our country somewhere. So I've learned leadership more than anything else, and I'm grateful. I think I registered for SAISI as a student member back in 2016 while I was in CPUT. So I get these notifications from SAISI, there's this course that you'll be credited for, there's this, there's that. So I'm a member of SAISI as a student. Then there was this other notification that there's a competition. Send us a picture from your project whereby you display excellency in environment, engineering, safety, people involved in this engineering field. So I was like, okay, I'm working in this mountainous, beautiful country, and I would love the world to share. So SAISI, it's a national institution. So I was like, okay, I took this picture on site. Let me share it with these people, and then yeah, we came with the award. Yeah, that's how it came about. This internship program is attainable, very attainable. You just see the advert, you apply. If you qualify, you in. So I would say it is a great opportunity. It is, to start with, at this age and time, who hires somebody without experience? No one. You have your degrees, you have your whatever, and next thing is experience. Do you have the experience to do this job? And in most cases, for people who've been in school more than on field, you don't have that experience. Then what should happen to you? So this internship program for me, it's that gap that we've been missing. Like, okay, we went to school, then if you're saying experience, we can't buy experience, you can't, then we need somebody to just open that door for us to have that experience. Yes, it gets tricky at the beginning because you know nothing, well, not nothing, but you're not well equipped, you're not well knowledgeable in terms of the field on its own. All we know is theory, and having to bring the two together, it's a bit of a trick. So I would say this program is the real one. It's the one. It's very helpful. So the fact that there's not much experience required, it says it will really, and working on such a huge project as this one, the Polihali Dam, because this is the initial stage of the Polihali Dam as a whole, that adds value to your resume. It's useful in that way. So I would advise people to, you're not just a student when you're here. You're given responsibility that will make you feel like you're a professional. Even if it sometimes gets overwhelming, it sometimes gets hard, you're like, can I do it, can I not? But that's how you learn. You, like the hardest iron is put under fire to be stronger. So you've been put out there and you should excel. You can't just not. The first thing for me from now going into the 10 years, I have to complete my PhD and finally become Dr. Loke. And then since coming here, I've started with compiling my reports for the Engineering Council of South Africa for registration as a professional. That's like the highlight. Once you have attained the required experience, you have the right qualifications. Most engineers have to be registered with EXA. That gives you enough recognition, it gives you enough exposure to the recruiters, and it takes you onto on the map. So that's that for me. And then from there, I think I'm not a follower anymore. I feel like I'm the leader that I needed to be. So I am hoping to be leading some projects going forward, being a resident engineer somewhere, and yes, of course with some advice here and there, because it's never enough. We learn every day. So that's my take on that. And 10 years from here, again, I'm a researcher at heart, so I love research. So our country needs that. So when the dam comes, when the tunnel comes, I wish to be a part of that, on the research part of it, and see how we can grow our country going forward.